The issue with charging bricks is, if you get one with your device, you generally only get one port. The solution in the past was a bulky brick that let you charge more than one device at the same time, but limited to 30 watts of output, which meant if you wanted better speeds and more ports, you'd have to look elsewhere. Something like this. Now, take everything that you love about the Anker 735 and shrink it down and make it smaller. And now you have Anker's new 67W wall charger. Sound interesting to you? I'm Wanderer 001. Let's get into it. Believe it or not, Anker has managed to minimize even further their already fast charging capable devices and put it into something of this form factor. And when I say this form factor, I mean 1.9 inches by 1.5 inches. It is ridiculously small. As I had a comparison of its predecessor before, yes, it is a little chunkier from this view, but it has a much smaller overall footprint. It only comes in at 4.78 ounces as well. The overall fit and finish, you have this black trim all around. Coming to the front of our device here, might be a little tricky to see, but there actually is a little shiny faceplate right there and some textured beveling around the front. You also have two USB-C ports and then one USB-A. Notice they all have the blue in them, indicating that they are quick charge capable. The output for this particular device is, if you're using a single port, either one of your USB-Cs will get you 67 watts out. The USB-A will get you 22.5. If you start mixing and matching, having more than one port in use, with the two USB-Cs, you can get 65 watts, which is really good considering most Anker devices start splitting where power goes to make it more optimal. If you throw in the USB-A port, you also still get that 65 watt output. Once you start throwing in 3 ports, then you're looking at 64. One of the things that I also like about Anker devices is they don't need to be fancy. None of your ports here light up. And I like that because, well, if I want to use this in a dark room, I don't have to worry about covering this up or having to unplug it at night. Coming across to the front here, you notice that it does have a collapsible prong. And if I flip that out, you'll notice that if I push, you can see kind of indentation on my thumb there, that it actually does take a bit of effort to close that. Not enough that it's difficult to do, but enough effort where you don't have to worry about this accidentally being bumped and the prongs closing on you. Notice as I do that, they just kind of flip up very easily on their own once that tension point is broken. You don't get a lot in the box with this charger. You really only get the charger. It does not come with any cables. You will have to provide your own cables, but chances are you already have other cables that you can use with this. Now, because of the size of this charger, you can actually get 2 of them in a wall outlet. And I know just saying that isn't enough to prove it to you. So here's a visual representation of 2 of these in a wall outlet. And here we could see demonstrating the size of this using a standard US outlet. If I plug that in, you can see I can clearly get 2 of these, one stacked on top of each other. Or if I have another Anker style device, I could stack 2 like that. Notice this one's a little chunkier. And if my plugs were kind of flipped around the other way where I could do it like this, you would see a little less movement right there. So you could stack 2 of these on top of each other, giving you a total of 6 possible outlets from one standard US plug. So you would have the 2 USB-C, 2 USB-C, and then a USB-A on either. So very compact, and for the amount of power output that you get, very good. There you saw. The size makes it very convenient to stack these, or if you have the predecessor to it, use both of them in the same wall outlet, giving you lots of options for charging. Now, you might notice here on the front, this is a GaNPrime device. This is a kind of overarching moniker that Anker uses to cover a lot of different technologies. First being Power IQ4. So that means that you are going to get the maximum output that your device can handle without overcharging and burning it out. You also have Active Shield 2.0, which monitors the temperature of this 3 million times per day so that you don't have to worry about it overheating and causing a fire. Now, I do mention temperature and voltage. Well, I stated what the outputs of this could be. Let me show you some actual testing I did for outputs and temperatures that I was able to get with this wall charger. Gonna test the USB-C to USB-C using high capacity cable and my charger here, which has a very high input. We're gonna stick it in my little tool here, give that a chance to boot up, but the battery pack here is getting up to about 60. If we bring this into focus, might be a little tricky to see, but it's showing 19.8 volts, 3.0 amps, and 60 watts in. Now we're going to test if I put one device into USB-C. We'll wait for that to get up to 60 watts. There we go. If I take another USB-C device, plug it in, will this drop? Because it should be able to do both. Yeah, there you can see it actually did kind of drop the wattage that was getting put into this. Now if I take this out and we're going to replace this with a USB-A, we'll see what that drop looks like. And now I've got a USB-A device and it dropped it to about 42, 43 watts. So if you do USB-A and a USB-C, you actually get a slightly better charge rate. I have been charging this for the past 30-ish minutes. It's about 45%. Since it's such a small device and outputting the wattage that it is, kind of want to see what our temperature looks like. So high of 120, 122, 119 seems to be the average. Isn't bad considering its size. So not hot. It's a little warm to the touch, but that's not going to light anything on fire. So that's good. We're going to be testing the charge on a smartphone. Here you can see we're getting 1960 milliamp in. So far we've gotten a maximum of 1970. So that's going to be charging or pulling as much as it can. If we bring our tool into focus, we can see 9.4 watts, 2.1 amps, and it's at about 19 watts. And it's spiking up a little bit over here because now it's showing 3840 milliamps. And what we're going to do is I'm going to remove the tool so that we make sure that we're getting just the pull from the smartphone itself. And there you can see it's starting to go up 3840. We'll let this run for a half hour, see how warm this gets, and come back. Been about 35, 40 minutes. 88. It's on 89 back there. So because it doesn't pull as much charge as the battery that I was doing, you can see it's actually even slowed down a little bit. It helps to keep it cooler for longer. So this, compared to the big battery I was charging, it's not even really perceivably warm to the touch. There are a lot of things that I like about Anker devices, and there's a lot that I like about this particular one as well, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a con. And the biggest con for me is the price for this. For a lot of people, it's a little high. You could pick up something like this that's much cheaper by a off-brand or not as well-known manufacturer and have the same theoretical output, but not have all of those fail-safes. So if you're looking at this, yes, the price is going to be a little on the higher side, but just know that you're getting the backing of a company that's been around and proven itself time and time again. If you like Anker products and are looking for a compact way to charge multiple devices on the go, I can strongly recommend this new compact charger. Even if you had the larger version of this, the space saving that you get in your travel bag from this, as well as the 2 extra watts output more than that larger, make this well worth your consideration. If this looks like the charger you've been looking for, I will have a link for it in the description area below where you could pick one up for yourself. Do you know of a different charger I should check out? Let me know in the comments area below. If you appreciate the time and effort that goes into making a comprehensive video like this, make sure to hit that like button to help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here and want to be notified of my next review, hit that subscribe button. Still not sure if this is the right charger for you? On screen now, you will see 2 other reviews that I have done to help you make a more informed decision for yourself.